Hi, if you're watching this, then you know that INRAE is opening a permanent position for a researcher at the Forest Zoology Research Unit, and I will be your contact point if you're interested, so you will see my email address at the end of this video if you want to get in touch. So this is going to be a short summary of what and who we need, how we see the collaboration with the existing team members, and what you should also expect if you are considering joining us. The position opening is for a scientist working in insect community ecology in the context of biological invasions with a focus on forest insects and ecosystems. And basically, the success or failure of biological invasions depends on two main things. First, that's the invasiveness of the exotic species itself. In other words, that's its capability to become an invader, which can depend on its life history traits or the way it was transported, for example. And second, that's the invasibility of the destination environment, meaning its susceptibility or resistance to such aliens. And so far in our lab, we focused mostly on this first aspect, the invasiveness of aliens, and not so much on the perspective from the target communities. But this is equally important. So your missions will be primarily to assess the invasibility of environments colonized by forest insects, which may be forests, but also sometimes different ecosystems. And this will imply characterizing insect communities and biotic interactions in the invaded areas, possibly in the native ones also when that's doable, to identify the factors that modulate the vulnerability to new species. This is a research scientist position, which means it doesn't come with teaching duties, but of course, if you want to get involved in training students at the university, you are very welcome to do that. Now, about our lab. We are a rather small research unit of about 12 people, half of that being researchers, so we have a good balance with the technical staff to conduct experiments and field work. And one peculiarity is we have no separate teams. So while everyone can, of course, develop their own questions, we all maintain a very high level of interactions in most of the projects that we are part of. And everyone knows what the others are focusing on or developing at a given point. And the main collaborative and long-term research topic of the lab is the responses of forest insect bioaggressors to global changes. So this includes climate change, land use changes, biological invasions, as I said, and therefore we unfold this in two main axes that are biological invasions of insects associated with the intensification of human activities, and also range expansions of native insects that somehow behave like alien invaders as a result of climate change. We've got our own cute building at the INRAE Center, but also a quarantine lab where we can work on live alien insects, as well as a brand new and unique laboratory dedicated to eradicating insects safely, because one of the models our team works on since decades now as eradicating caterpillars. That's the pine processionary moth. On top of that, you will be able to use facilities at the lab like climatic and walking chambers, of course, different experimental labs, a tree nursery or sentinel planting just outside the building, a field facility in the French Alps, and we are also working since several years now on instrumentation to automate part of our field monitoring. So you will also take advantage of these equipments. On a broader scale, you will benefit from the wide collaboration network of the unit, from the regional to the international scales, including a joint laboratory, which we co-lead with the Beijing Forestry University in China, and it focuses on invasive forest insects in Eurasia. We're looking for a candidate who's done their PhD or postdoc in ecology and who has an expertise in the field of community ecology. The candidate should be familiar with the statistical toolkits that are typically used for analyzing community ecology data sets, but skills in entomology and some interest for fieldwork will also be useful to identify the questions as well as collect and process the data. And we are a small team, as I said, but we are part of an international network, so collaborative work and good communication skills in English will be essential. And remember that our general team project focuses on alien insect invasions and range expansions of native insects. So even though adding an expertise in community ecology to that mixture will help filling the important knowledge gaps in invasion success, some experience in invasion biology would probably be a big advantage to better understand all concepts and study systems. Now, a few words about the institute. INRAE is a sizable research institute in France and one of the world leaders in agricultural, food, plant, and animal sciences. It's split geographically into 18 centers all over France, with many research units in all of them. And the way it works scientifically, however, is not necessarily split geographically. Instead, INRAE has what we call research divisions, which can be more or less prominent in each region or center. And your division at URZF would be ECODIV, which stands for Ecology and Biodiversity. So your center will be located in Orléans, here close to Paris, but I will come back to that in a minute. Overall, INRAE is well known because it spans the full chain between academic and applied research, with a real hold on societal issues, and INRAE centers often have a vast range of field and lab facilities that I presented earlier. The Institute clearly pledged in favor of open and ethical science, and it's also a significant sponsor of some emerging initiatives of the Diamond open access ecosystem, so you will also benefit from that context. Geographically, as I said, you will be located in the Val de Loire Center, which spans a wide range of research topics from soil to environment, forest and entomology, climate change and adaptation, or animal research. The center is split in 4 different sites, and you will be located in the site of Orléans, which you can see here on the picture. Now, if you're after local products, the bad news is Orléans is best known for its mustard and vinegar. However, it's also a very charismatic mid-sized historical city, located just 1 hour by train from the very center of Paris, and it's located in a rather unique and well-preserved landscape since the Loire Valley is part of the UNESCO World Heritage. So if you want to apply, keep an eye on the INRAE website around February or March 2025 for the registration step first, and then you will have to submit your application, and if you are shortlisted by the jury, you should be interviewed around May or June for an expected first day of work around September or somewhere in fall. So if you have any questions about the scientific aspects for this position or about the lab, then you can contact me at the address in the middle of the screen here. So with this, I wish you good luck and I hope to see you soon.